Imagine a car so fast it didn't just beat the competition, it humiliated them. It was so dominant that rival drivers refused to drive behind it, claiming it threw stones at their faces. It was so advanced that Formula One didn't just ban it, they tried to pretend it never existed. This is the story of the Brabham BT46B, the legendary fan car. For exactly one race, it was the greatest machine on Earth. And then it was gone. But to understand why this car was created, we have to go back to 1978. The world of Formula One was changing. Colin Chapman and Lotus had just introduced ground effect. Their cars were literally sucked down onto the track by airflow. They were unbeatable. Meanwhile, the Brabham team was in trouble. Their brilliant designer, Gordon Murray, had a problem. Their engine, a massive Alfa Romeo Flat 12, was simply too wide. It blocked the airflow. They couldn't copy the Lotus design. They were losing. Gordon Murray needed a miracle, or a loophole.
Murray locked himself in his office and read the technical regulations line by line. He was looking for a gap. And finally, in Article 3.7, he found it. The rules said that movable aerodynamic devices were strictly banned, but there was one exception. If the primary function of a device was cooling, it was legal. That was the key. Murray decided to mount a massive fan on the back of the car. He told the FIA officials it was simply there to cool the hot Alfa Romeo engine. And technically, that was true. It did cool the engine, but that was just the cover story. The fan's real job was to suck all the air from underneath the car, creating a massive vacuum. It glued the car to the track. The team built it in absolute secrecy. It was a monster.
When the team arrived at the Swedish Grand Prix, the paddock was suspicious. Brabham was paranoid. Every time the car stopped in the pit lane, mechanics rushed to cover the back of the car with actual trash can lids to hide the fan. But as soon as the car went out on track, the secret was out. Drivers were shocked. When Niki Lauda revved the engine, the car didn't just vibrate, it literally squatted down. The vacuum was so strong, it pulled the chassis onto the asphalt before the car even moved. The race itself was a massacre. Niki Lauda wasn't just driving, he was cruising. Behind him, Mario Andretti in the Lotus was furious. He claimed the fan was shooting dust and stones directly into his face like a machine gun. Lauda waited patiently, and then he struck. He overtook Andretti on the outside of a corner covered in oil, a move that should have been physically impossible. The Brabham didn't slide an inch. Lauda won by over 34 seconds. It wasn't a race, it was a demonstration.
The victory was too perfect. The paddock was in revolt. Lotus and the other teams threatened to leave Formula One immediately if the fan car wasn't banned. This put Bernie Ecclestone, the owner of the Brabham team, in a difficult position. He was also rising to become the political boss of Formula One. He had a brutal choice to make: keep the car and win the championship, or sacrifice it to secure his power over the sport. Bernie chose power. He voluntarily withdrew the car before the next race. The Brabham BT46B was never defeated on track. It raced once, it won once, and then it was locked away forever. It remains the only car in Formula One history with a 100% win rate.
It was a machine that proved a dangerous truth. Sometimes, being too fast is the quickest way to get banned.